What's up, everybody? Doc Dog 1985. There's levels to this. Good morning. Woke up maybe a few minutes ago. Got some coffee being made right now. But I wanted to make this video. Yesterday, it was either yesterday or the day before yesterday, I made a video talking about Microsoft and Xbox and the whole Rogue Ally and the future of Microsoft and how as gamers, we're winning all this other stuff. And I tied it into, I had a statement in there where I said that Microsoft has the better ecosystem. Now, I had one person on Twitter respond right away to that video. I wish you would have left it in the comment section because then you guys would have seen the conversation in the comment section. But shout out to my man E4 Extreme. That is my dude, even though he is heavy on the PlayStation side. He number one, he's always shown respect, so I respect him back. And number two, man, he can laugh as well, so he's good peoples. He made video responses on Twitter to my videos. So if you guys want to go watch that, go ahead and watch that. And we had a whole conversation. Okay. I told him he should make a YouTube video himself, but or a YouTube channel, but he's slacking. I don't know. Okay. Now, the man is actually extremely smart. I know he is because I've played him in chess and I haven't beaten him yet. He's beaten me, I think, like 4 times. So I know he has critical thinking skills. I know he's smart. Okay. So his argument was, no, Sony has the better ecosystem. Now, when somebody disagrees with a statement that you say, typically the burden of proof is on them. So if you disagree with something that I said, you should be the one providing the evidence as to why you disagree. So he believes that Sony has a better ecosystem. And if you watch his videos, he's saying that Sony has a better ecosystem because Sony has the better games. And we're talking about gaming, right? Now, if you look up what the word ecosystem means, you will see that it's about interconnection of networks. That's what it's about. Okay. It's about different things coming together and creating a network. That is an ecosystem under one umbrella. Okay. We've been having this discussion, me and him, back and forth since last night. I literally went to sleep, woke up this morning. The dude had responded again. I responded again. He responded again this morning. That's why I said, okay, let me just go ahead and put this on video. This is what I'm here, what I have realized. Sony and Microsoft have very different ecosystem. Now you can decide for yourself which one is better. My man E4 Extreme tried to compare Sony's ecosystem to Apple's ecosystem, but that's not true. The PlayStation 5 does not work like the Apple ecosystem. Sony does not work like the Apple ecosystem. And again, we're talking about gaming. We're not talking about TVs. We're not talking about anything. We're talking about gaming, right? Okay. So when it comes to that, Sony's ecosystem is tethered to that main console, which is the PS5. There's no secret. If you want to play Sony VR, you need a PS5. If you want to play Sony handheld, you need a PS5. If you want to play Sony remote played, you need a PS5. So the PS5 is the main, or as he called it, the nexus of that ecosystem, right? I don't even know if he used the word right. I don't know what nexus means. It sounded cool when I read it. So I'm going to use his word. PS5, the nexus, right, of the ecosystem. Apple, listen to me carefully, okay? Apple, you would think that the iPhone is their nexus, but it's really not. You can be part of the Apple ecosystem and not own an Apple phone. You can have an iPad. You can have a laptop, right? You can have a full-blown Mac computer. So there's different ways that you can get into the Apple ecosystem that doesn't require a specific hardware, because even though all the Apple products work really well together. Listen to this. This is the biggest difference between Apple and Sony and PlayStation, okay? Even though all the Apple products work really well together, okay, they're not exclusively tethered together. You can buy iPods iPods, what they call the iPod Pros for your Android phone. You can, and it'll work. And it'll work. Go out and buy a PlayStation VR and see if it'll work on anything else. Even their controllers, even the PlayStation controllers, don't work with their own thing. What are we doing? Right. So again, what is the PlayStation 5 controllers don't work on PS4? Something like that, right? Microsoft accessories are exchangeable. Even on PC, seamlessly. You don't have to do anything extra, nothing. You connect your PC controller. So again, when you're comparing ecosystems, right? Sony's ecosystem is completely different. It's tethered to that console. Now, whether or not that makes it better or worse, ultimately is going to be your decision whether or not you believe that. I believe that the Microsoft ecosystem is better. If you want to argue games, yeah, Sony got the games that has the awards. Sony has the games that have the higher cult following to them, all that other stuff. Like, I'm not even going to argue that with you, right? Gaming, I could say, is personal preference, but now I'm taking a cop out. I know the type of games that Sony make, and the numbers don't lie. People like those games. People buy those games. Even though I don't know why they sell like that, it doesn't really matter. Even though I may enjoy something else, it doesn't really matter. So I'm not even going to argue with that. But what you're not going to argue is the ecosystem as far as what you can do and how everything is tied together and untied as well. So right now, anybody that has a phone can join the Microsoft ecosystem. It's a lower cost of entry, okay? And even if you have a controller from last generation, you can do it. But even better yet, you don't even need a controller. You don't even need a controller. If you're playing on mobile phone, there's games on there that are touchscreen based, right? Now, I know what people are going to say, nobody wants to use that. Real gamers. No, listen. You are not going to use that. You are not going to use that. But somebody out there might. The same way I will not use the Q Lite, right? You will probably not use the Q Lite, but somebody out there will probably use it, right? So the fact that is there and it's available, okay, you can't deny that it's part of that ecosystem. The way seamlessly things, if tomorrow I said I'm done, listen to this. If tomorrow I said I'm done with Xbox, I'm going PC, right? And I go ahead and buy the most powerful PC that I can, right? I can still have access to the Microsoft, the Xbox ecosystem. Meaning if I don't cancel my Game Pass subscription, I'm good. I'm still there. I recently just purchased a ROG Ally, right? 3 months of Game Pass Ultimate for free, which I didn't need because I'm already paying for Game Pass Ultimate. But as soon as I got the ROG Ally, I had a list of games that I could play because, again, the ecosystem is not tethered to the Xbox. I could play on my tablet. I could play on my laptop. I could play on my phone. I could play wherever I want. That is the ecosystem, guy. That is the ecosystem. It's a bigger ecosystem. Now, if you want to argue what's better, then that's up to you if you want to be tethered to that PS5. But that means that when that PS5 is obsolete, right? Because everything becomes obsolete after a while, right? Then you're going to have to purchase another product and be tethered to that product. And you will always be tethered to that product unless Sony changes their strategy, which I think little by little they're going to do. I do believe that eventually you might not need a PS5 to play PS5 games. They're going to PC. And I don't mean like a year later or 2 years later. I don't think Sony can sustain what they're doing just staying with the console. But that's a whole different video. All I want to know from you guys is who has the better ecosystem? And describe it as best you can. I couldn't even believe somebody would even argue this, but somebody did. Just whatever you do, do not compare Sony to Apple when it comes to ecosystem. Again, ecosystem is what we're talking about. If I hear some of y'all talking about games, it's gonna be yes, yeah. I don't even want to argue that with you. There you go. Good. All right. Doc Dog 198 Fathers levels to this. We out. Peace.